Welcome back to another episode of Do This, Do Not Do That. And today I want to talk a bit about the paradigm shift, the shift in mindset that you need to be going through when you start going through the levels. But I want to go back a little bit and talk a bit about why we do what we do, how our processes work, and the area that's so easily avoidable that you either have done already, are going through right now, or will do. So essentially when someone comes into the program, we take them through our 3 phases: infancy, growth, and maturity. Essentially, infancy is that bit where it's the building blocks. You're building up the mindset, the nutritional behaviours, you're building up the trust, the consistency, the training, the fitness. And that's the first 12 to 16 weeks. Now, the reason why we call it infancy is because you can spend a long period of time in there. Obviously, if it's not a priority, you're not doing the correct work, you're not committed to it, you're going to be in there for longer. Then we move into growth. Growth is where we actually start pushing more fueling strategies, longer term maintenance, pushing recomposition with the body, and we get our clients signed up to their first event or challenge and get them actually going into a process that's going to require a lot of discipline. Then we move into maturity. That's where this is like a big part of your life. That's where you've really embodied this. This is when it's part of who you are and what you do. Now, what we see regularly is people go through infancy, see great success in the first 12 to 16 weeks, go through the big transformation, get the results. They then go into their first big block of training, they commit to it. And then what typically happens if someone's kind of came in and they're in the first few years of doing this is either at the end of infancy or at the end of growth, they make the mistake and believe that there's an end. There is no end. I use the analogy of climbing mountains. So when you're going through a journey, you maybe work with a coach, you get help, you get assistance. What that coach is showing you how to do is climb the mountain. So they give you the kit, they give you the tools, they show you the map, and they point you in where to go. And that's what they do. The rest is down to you. You need to get one foot in front of the other and climb it. But what happens for most people is then when they get to that summit, or when they get to the false summit where they think they're near the top, they think that the objective is to get to the top of the mountain and kick back and chill out. The actual reality is that when you get to the top of the mountain, it never ever ends. What you see over the horizon is hundreds of endless mountains for as far as you can see. And the pursuit of growing is understanding that once you get to the top, you enjoy the view, you take it in, then you take a nice big deep breath and you head back down and you go and find another one. It takes people so much time to realise that that's what a journey is like. It's not about just losing the first 10 to 20 pounds. It's not about just boxing off the first event. These are great things and great milestones, and they are going to build you as a person. They are going to massively evolve you, develop your body, develop your discipline, develop your outlook. You're going to get a whole new lease of life, meet people along the way. You're going to better yourself, but understand that that is like step one. And what you need to be asking yourself is, do my current behaviours, right? Not habits, not things that you're doing, behaviours align with the life and the results that I want? Because what a lot of people do is they get caught up in the how and the what and the when, the things that they are doing, but when in actual fact they are behaving like a former version of themselves. I'll give you a really, really common one, so big with nutrition. So someone's been in a bit of a diet transformation cycle for the last, 5 or so years, right? They're in that sort of 12-week diet, push, go and get the same wee shop in you always do when you're losing fat. Very, very high protein, low fat diet. You're in the mood of cycling calories. Everything's all to accommodate so that you can get to this point. When you're going through these phases, you typically become a little less social, right? So this is when someone's going through the transformation cycle. They're stuck in this sort of cycle of being very, very outcome focused. And essentially, someone comes in and maybe start working with us, and we're starting to map out a bit of vision. We're starting to talk about the following year. We're not just talking about 12 weeks. We're actually starting to think about, right, where do I want to be this time next year? Where do I want to be in 10 months? What's my event going to be like? What's my training process going to be like? And the person buys into it and they're getting after it, man. But 6 months go by and the person starts to lose their way a little bit. They start to lose momentum. They start to realise that this is pretty hard, being bought all in, because it's very, very hard. They're not going to be motivated and driven all the time. And they get to that first point where the motivation starts to disappear. And before you know it, they're still doing the thing. They're still following the training programme. They're still following the targets. They're still working towards the goals. But slowly but surely, there's just these little behaviours creeping in. They're heavily cycling their calories. They're cutting themselves way too much slack at the weekend. They're eating things that they know they shouldn't be eating. But they just keep telling themselves, yeah, but it's all right because I'm doing this and I'm focusing on that. And then before you know it, it's like, why are you eating 1,800 calories Monday to Thursday? Oh yeah, it's because I've got this on at the weekend, I'm doing this now. I'm all for people cycling their calories, right? But think about it. Are you behaving like a version of yourself that's going to get the results or the outcomes that you want? Or are you being selective with what you're doing? Because this is what so many folk do, is that they go through, they buy into the process, and then before you know it, they start to adopt these behaviours. Like, yeah, they're doing parts of it, yeah, they're doing the bits, yeah, they're getting the progress, yeah, they're following the plan, but they're starting to be selective with the parts that they are doing, and before you know it, they're letting behaviours start to come in that do not actually align with the results and the outcomes that you want. It's the same. I relate this to like business, or I relate this to my body, or I relate this to like how I look. You are a direct correlation of your most recent actions and behaviours. Therefore, if you are not where you want to be, I know there's always areas that we can improve on, but if you're saying, I'm doing all the right things, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and still my body's not changing, I'm not seeing the weight loss I want to see, I'm not seeing the composition changes I want to see, I'm not seeing the speed gains that I'm going to get, I hate to break it to you, you're not truly operating in line 100% with that person. Chances are you're probably only a couple of degrees off, but the thing that you need to remember is new levels require new tactics and new thinking. You cannot break through a glass ceiling trying to do the thing that you've done previously that gave you a different outcome. So you need to be sitting and asking yourself, yes, you might be following the correct training plan, you might be following the correct process for the goal that you have, but really take a long, hard look and look at it. Imagine it's like a flywheel, right? So you've got like nutrition, sleep, weekend behaviours, training protocol, mindset work, all this stuff, planning, organisation. Now on that flywheel, there might be like 3 or 4 things that you're acting in line with, but then you actually start looking at the other parts and it's like, right, weekend behaviours, nighttime routine, nutritional behaviours, like the things that I'm choosing to do they align with it? And what you probably see is that they don't. So you need to start actually looking at these other areas and be like, well, for the goals that I have and the things that I want to achieve, what would that person be doing? How would they be what would they be tolerating? What would they be accepting? What wouldn't they be tolerating? And this is the big shift that you need to be going through. And it's why some people get insanely good results and some folk just get bang average results, because the person that's getting bang average results isn't all in. They're partly in, and they're being selective with the parts that they're going through. So I'm trying to save you loads of easily avoidable stress here. Stop being selective with the parts that you do. Go all in, follow the entire process across the board, not just with the areas that you're comfortable with. Get the result, then put your own sauce on it. Stop trying to do it on your own terms from the get-go, because it doesn't work. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you took a lot away from it. I just want to let you know as well, we do huge giveaways with free courses, assets. We've done Ready to Transform, Rapid and Ripped, Ready for High Rocks, the Ultimate Hybrid Marathon Guide. These are free courses that we give away, and we're going to be launching another one next month, which is going to be insane. It's going to be all to do with getting the absolute most out of your training year, how to break things down, how to periodise your training, how to work back the way, because a lot of people are really good at setting goals now, but they're not actually good at engineering the plan to get there. So I'm going to give you a full breakdown, clarity on how to get the most out of it, and it's going to be launching next month, so keep your eyes peeled. Also, if you're watching this and you're still not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribing to the channel. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you took a lot away. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. See you later. Goodbye.